This is from ESPN's First Take. Courtney Cronin, expectations for Deshaun Watson in 2024.
The Browns have so much at stake here, and I'm talking about a team that went to the playoffs last year with Joe Flacco as their quarterback after Watson was put on season-ending injured reserve. For Watson to live up to the expectations that he can still be that guy that was in Houston in 2020, leading the league in passing, setting career high in completion percentage that year, does that guy exist anymore? Because we really don't know if that version of Deshaun Watson was something that, because of a lot of different reasons, is in the past, or if he's still that quarterback that the Browns thought they were getting when they decided to pull off this trade, which, by the way, we talk about the money a lot. Let's not forget 3 first-round draft picks they gave up, the third-rounder in 2023, and there's 2 fourth-rounders in there. That's a lot of draft capital that the Browns shipped out on top of the money. And it's not just Deshaun Watson that has a lot riding on this season. There are jobs on the line in Cleveland if this experiment doesn't pan out the way that they had hoped. And the glimmer of hope I think that you have here is knowing that he's healthy now. He had the offseason shoulder surgery, ended up playing through that in the game that might have been his best game last year, was where against Baltimore. I want to see that version of Deshaun Watson more often. The Week 10 game, which was the last time we saw him, like a horrific first half, and then in the second half, something clicks. And it wasn't like he just flipped a switch, but 14 completed passes, about 150 yards passing, and a touchdown to come from behind and win. That version of him seems to still be there, but can we see it on a 17-game basis? I'm not so sure just yet.
With that, let's welcome in Tim Bielik from the Plain Dealer, cleveland.com. Tim, I think Courtney argued herself in a circle there. 2 things. Deshaun Watson was injured, and nobody's job is on the line. They just signed extensions.
Yeah.
Other than that, sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski just signed extensions. They're not going anywhere unless this thing completely falls apart. And when I say completely falls apart, I'm talking 2 or 3 wins, which pretty much doesn't seem like it's going to happen this season. But I think what she's basically saying is obviously true, that we've barely seen Deshaun Watson the last 2 seasons. He's played in a grand total of 11 and a quarter games out of a possible 35. And again, that's regular season and playoffs combined. So we're talking not even a third of the potential games available to Deshaun Watson he's been able to play, and had that 11-game suspension in 2022, of course, then missed 11 full games because of injury. So we really still don't know what Deshaun Watson is. And we saw glimpses of it in 2023 more than we had in 2022. You look at the Titans game, the Cardinals game. Courtney obviously mentioned the second half of that Ravens game, where really that's the best we've ever seen Deshaun Watson since coming over to Cleveland. But again, it's we've talked about it a bunch, is can he stay on the field consistently? Can he get 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row under his belt? Because I think once he does that, that's when you can see the game kind of start to slow down, him develop more consistency, more rhythm, timing with his receivers, understanding his offensive line. Those are things that you really only can develop by being able to stay on the football field. It just comes down to him understanding how he has to protect himself better and try as best he can to avoid taking as many big hits as he did in 2023.
Yeah, and again, I think he was hurt more so than he let on at the very beginning, with the shoulder and those kind of things. So